welcome back to, I guess, what I would call the finale of my next life as a villainess. I'll sleep to doom parts of the Disturbance. We're going to go down the common route now and play through the very end. There's only 3 chapters in the common route, and we're just going to play them from the beginning. I'm going to skip the prologue because there's no choices, and I really don't feel like rereading Katarina talking to Sophia and Keith. So we're just gonna go straight to the boat.
これまでの軌跡はしっかり記録していますわ。
A luxurious cruise. It's been a long time since I read this, but I mostly remember. I remember most of it because of the choices we had to go through to get to every route.
入ってくれ。
失礼いたします。
おお、ベルダー公爵でしたか。守備はどうですかな。
準備はすべて整いました。招待客の到着予定時間も近づきましたので、着いた者からの受け入れを開始するところです。
Speaking of Ryle, he didn't appear at all in Silva's route. I noticed that a couple of times, but I just forgot to mention it. Like, he's part of the kidnapping, but Set was the one with the blame pinned on. He just got out scot-free.
そうか。ようやく準備が整ったというわけだな。
By the way, if you're new to the series and you're watching this common route, just keep in mind it's like episode 43, so there's going to be spoilers, and I'm probably going to talk about them too, just so you know.
すべては手はず通りです。
そうか。貴殿が力を貸してくれて大いに助かったよ。他国の人間の中から魔法が使える人間を探して手を回すことも考えなくはなかったが、それではいかんせん草の根をかき分けて探すようで非効率的だったからな。
ソルシエの血が混じっていれば先祖返りする者もいると聞きますが、そちらも非常に稀ですから。私も商人です。将来的に長くお付き合いをと考えているあなたのためなら手間は惜しみませんよ。
それは心強い言葉だ。期待しているよ。
恐れ入ります。では私はこれで。
ああ、最後に一つだけ。これを。
それはもしや。
何、貴殿にもご信用に渡しておこうと思ってね。用意してみた。何かあれば使ってくれ。
ありがとうございます。本当に閣下はこういった分野に明るいのですね。最小職に疲れているのが不思議なほどです。
これも昔取った絹塚というやつだがね。とにかくよろしく頼むぞ。
もちろんです。では。
いよいよだ。いよいよ私の悲願が叶う。
It's her evil laugh here. He cracks me up. Clear blue sky, crashing waves, and a very large ship. It's a really large ship, actually. A luxury cruise ship.
ケイス、見てあの船、すっごく大きいわ。
Now I'm having a hard time imagining how all of those fit onto the island. Like, that looks like it houses a lot of people. How do they all fit on the island? Anyway, or even in the mansion. My goodness. Upon descending from the carriage, I spot a luxurious ship and shake Keith in excitement.
姉さん、落ち着いて。他の人も見てるから。
今からあの船に乗って1週間航海するのよね、キース。
Wonder how Silva and Rosie fit into the friendship route.
船の上から見た景色って一体どんな感じなのかしら。うわっ、きっと出てくる食事も豪華よね。クイードの料理も食べられるかも。楽しみだわ。
I'm so excited. I never thought I'd board such a luxury ship.
今回はクイードの貴族もいるんだからね。国内のパーティーよりも気をつけないと。
分かってるわよ。公爵令嬢として立派に振る舞ってみせるから。
分かってるなら手を離して。
For some reason, Keith's face is red. Oh, maybe I'm grabbing onto him a little too hard.
まったくこっちの気持ちも知らないで。距離が近いんだから。
Oblivious to everyone.
なんか言った？
なんでもないよ、姉さん。
I let go of Keith and turned from his dumbfounded expression to look up at the ship again. In size and beauty both, it is also grand, a brilliant behemoth of a vessel born from the great minds of Quid and Sorcier. Nearby people who appear to be passengers keep mentioning the Vinculum. That must be the ship's name. We'll be on board this ship for a while. It'll be a life on the high seas. I wonder what the days will be like. We've already dodged my doom flag, so what could possibly go wrong?
カタリナ様。
I hear an adorable voice behind me and am surprised to see its owner.
マリア。
Maria Campbell. She's my classmate at the Magic Academy and one of the Kingdom's rare light magic users. She is a precious friend of mine. Of course, the protagonist of Fortune Lover is unbelievably cute. And what's more, she's a good person, a hard worker, and great in the kitchen.
もしかしてマリアもこの船に乗るの？はい、光栄なことに特別招待を受けまして、カタリナ様にお会いできてよかったです。
Maria seems truly relieved to find me here. Maria had said that as a commoner, she had never attended a party among nobles. That must be why she's so nervous now.
恐れ多いですし、場違いかもとは思ったんですが、これからもカタリナ様のおそばにいるためには、こういった場に慣れておくべきだと思ったんです。
Maria looks so cute, blushing like that. But what does she mean by your side? Does she want us to be friends forever?
ありがとう。私もマリアがいてくれて嬉しいわ。一緒に目いっぱい楽しみましょう。
Yes, everyone wants to be your friend forever.
はい。
案外いないから心配だったけど、キャンベルさんなら姉さんを見守ってくれるだろうし、少し安心かな。
Yeah, you can. She's the most well behaved of all the girls.
今回はジオルド様もいるって話だし、はあ、姉さんに間違いがないよう見張っておかなきゃ。
ほらほらキース、早く船に乗るわよ。
うん、今行く。ってああ、もう姉さん走ると危ないよ。
It was really cute when he started calling her Katarina in his route.
いい天気だな。絶好の航海日和だ。あとは予定通り。あれは。
He said, "What is that?" instead of "Who is that?" or "Is that?" Just what is it? It's two people, of
さ
course.
すがに疲れたな。
Vinculum special guest room. I, Georgia Stewart, wear a smile to match this extravagant cabin, despite sight eternally. In front of me are Set Norden, the premier of the Kingdom of Quid and Ryle Warder, a Marquise of Sorcier. These two creators of this vessel welcomed me as a member of the royal house, but this reception has gone on for some time. My twin brother Alan, the fourth prince, is having trouble hiding his boredom.
ジオルド殿下、アラン殿下、本当に我らがビンクルム号にようこそお越しくださいました。
このような良き日にお二人にいらしていただけて心より感謝を申し上げます。
こちらこそお招きいただき誠に光栄です。クイード国の造船技術はさすがですね。とても快適に過ごせそうです。
ええ、そうでしょう。調度品もすべて一級品を揃えさせていただきました。ベッドはすべて特注ですし、こちらのティーカップに描かれている鳥はクイードでは縁起が良いと言われているもので。
Premier Norden smiles at these compliments as the formalities are exchanged, but I can tell he is watching me like a hawk. As the third prince of the kingdom of Sorcier, he is evaluating me.
接待などは表向き。実際はソルシエの情勢を探り、今後有益な取引ができるよう立ち回りを考えるのが本来の目的なのだろう。まあ、それはこちらも同じか。
As the third prince of Sorcier, I had best be careful not to do anything that may prove detrimental. We have never had any particular strong relations with Quid. After all, our countries aren't even on the same continent. As our nations are too far apart to visit easily, it was inevitable that we would probe each other for information like this.
そしてビンクルム号の名前には絆という意味が込められております。クイード、ソルシエ両国、これから手に手を取って一層の発展を遂げていきたいものですな。
He's such a liar. It actually becomes a huge problem.
そうですね。
そろそろ出港の時間が近づいているようですね。
それでは夜にまたお目にかかります。ジオルド殿下、アラン殿下、失礼いたします。
The moment they leave, the smile drops from my face, causing Alan to fidget next to me.
何か気になることでもあったか？いえ、今のところは特に。今のところは？アランも知らないわけではないでしょう。海を越えてなおクイードの最小の話は聞こえてきていますから。
I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I do know now.
ああ、そうだったな。
Alan nods as if he remembers and sends a meaningful look to the door that Premier Norden closed. Set Norden, the premier of the Kingdom of Quid, a nation of inventions, he became a premier at an unprecedented young age. He is ambitious, intelligent, and he is said to be ruthless in the hunt for profit. There is no shortage of a dubious rumor enshrouding him. The sheer number tells me not to brush them aside as mere jealousy.
クイード前国王が逝去してから現国王と宰相の間では政治的な対立が何年も続いているという話も聞いていますし、それなりに注意は必要だと思っていますよ。まあ否定はしない。うまい話には裏があるもんだ。
Supposedly, his efforts with Marquis Warder were meant to strengthen the bonds of our nations, but it's much too suspicious. When the same offer was made 3 years ago, King Stuart, my father, refused it. I find it perfectly normal to be suspicious of a nation that has always been distant from us, suddenly suggesting a new enterprise.
それでもあのライルベルダーが手掛ける事業としてならめったなことにはならないとは思いますが。
Marquis Warder is highly regarded in the kingdom and is among the most trusted subjects of the king. He has garnered attention in recent years for his excellent foresight. I remember him a congenial man from when we last spoke.
だからノーディン宰相も諦めきれずにベルダー公爵へ造船事業の話を持っていったのだろう。
He must have assumed that Marquis Warder would be enticed by quiz technology, as he is known to have an eye for the avant-garde. And as he must have planned, Premier Norden received financial aid and magic technology assistance from Marquis Warder.
そしてベルダー公爵からこのクイードとの造船計画の話がソルシエ王宮に奏上されたと。
Though the Sorcerer Palace had rejected the plan once before, the circumstances were different if it was a Marquis business. As a project of the Marquis, there would be no risk to the national treasury while still providing a chance at foreign technology. And if it attracted foreign visitors too, that could benefit Sorcier. There was no reason to refuse, assuming that it would remain firmly a business of the Marquis, and so the vinculum was approved. And today is the maiden voyage.
1週間もカタリナに会えないだなんて退屈ですね。
I inadvertently let my words slip, and Alan smiles wryly.
まあ1週間なんてすぐだろう。
そうですね。さっさと終わらせて早くカタリナに会いたいところだね。
My fiancée Katerina Clays, although I have truly never been interested in other people, she is a shining exception. I still remember when we first met at 8 years of age.
こんなかすり傷気になさらないでください。だいたい額の傷なんて前髪でパパッと隠せるので何の問題もございませんわ。
After scarring her face, Katerina's nonchalance was entirely unbefitting a duke's daughter, and that was only the beginning. She was utterly unrestrained, climbing trees and throwing toy stakes, yet her magnetic smile never failed to pull me to her.
とはいえ、僕の行為には全く気づいてもらえていない。
She does not see my love for her, believing our engagement to be a breakwater to stave off others' advances. Believing there was plenty of time, I took it slow, remaining by her side ever since we were 8 years old.
結局、ライバルを増やしただけだった。
なんだ
I turned to see my twin brother looking confused. He is also a rival, another man that has feelings for Katerina. But Alan isn't the only one. Katerina attracts people naturally. Her smile continues to charm many. Katerina's adoptive brother Keith, the Prime Minister's son Nicole, as well as her friends Mary, Sophia, and Maria, Katerina Clays attracts all. And due to their excessive affinities for her, they're all doing everything in their power to interfere with our marriage.
カタリナに王子妃は務まりませんなんていう主張。あれはどう見ても僕に独占されるのが気に入らないだけだ。
If Katerina was self-aware of her role as my fiancé, I wouldn't mind so much, but my dear fiancé is lacking in that capacity. That's why I'm always steadfast in my watch.
ま、今回唯一良かったことといえば、カタリナを除くその全員がヴィンクルム号の披露会にいるというところか。
No one will be able to get the best of me. It's a shame Katerina isn't here, but this is a silver lining. The rival before me has only recently become aware of his feelings for her. He's been oblivious to them this whole time.
そんな時期にカタリナと会えば何が起きるかわからない。
Alan's obliviousness was in large part due to his fiancée, Lady Mary, who spared no effort in that out of her own love for Katerina. Alan was an unfortunate fool who didn't even realize that his greatest rival was his own fiancée. Alan looks at me curiously, but I simply shake my head with a smile.
いえ、何でもありませんよ。
うん、そうか。じゃあ、俺は自分の部屋に戻る。
Alan looks a bit stupefied, but just as he's about to leave, there's a knock on the door.
もう、お兄様は本当に律儀すぎです。
I, Sophia Ascart, am angry with my brother, Nicole Ascart. We saw Lady Katerina board the vinculum, yet we still have not gone to greet her.
ソフィア。
Brother turns and tries to quell my anger, however, I have no intention of backing down.
お兄様、私が昨日カタリナ様とご挨拶した時、ヴィンクルム号のお披露目会に参加するとは言っていませんでしたわ。きっと急にここに来ることになったはずです。おそらくどなたもまだカタリナ様がここにいることを知りませんわ。ですから今が距離を縮めるチャンスです。
Brother has long had feelings for my beloved childhood friend Katerina Clays. If Brother and Lady Katerina were to marry, then Lady Katerina would become my sister-in-law. We could always be together. Lady Katerina freed me from my loneliness. I want to be with her always. It's my hopes that brother will successfully woo her. I must have brother steal Lady Katarina away.
ソフィア、いつも言っているだろ。カタリナはジオルドの婚約者だ。
それが何だって言うんですの？お兄様は先に卒業してしまったんですから、少しぐらい抜け駆けしても構わないと思いますわ。
Giordo, Keith, Alan, and Mary all have long-standing relationships with the Askrat siblings as our childhood friends. But amongst everyone, only brother is a year apart. His graduation this year has created a widening gap between him and his rivals. But amongst everyone, only brother is a year apart. His graduation this year has created a widening gap between him and his rivals. Fortunately, Lady Katarina doesn't seem to realize that the other rivals have been attempting to approach her.
私たちはもう1年一緒に過ごせますけれど、お兄様はこれからカタリナ様とお会いできる時間がますます減るんですから。
だが、今ジオルドたちに挨拶をしに行くところだっただろ。父の名代で来ているんだ。まずはするべきことが先だ。
それはそうかもしれませんけれど、お兄様ったら本当に真面目なんだから。
I do respect him for that, but he can be so stubborn about keeping his public and private life separate.
きっとお兄様のことだから、ジオルド様に会ったらカタリナ様がいたとお話しされるはず。それでは意味がなくなってしまうのに。お兄様はもっとずるくなっていいと思いますわ。
I puff my cheeks and mumble, but he only responds with his usual stiff smile. In the end, there is no forestalling to be had as a royal guard appears to request our presence before Prince Giordo.
お兄様は本当にそんな性格なんですから。
I try to handle the meeting deftly before brother mentions her to the prince. Knowing Prince Giordo, he will most likely notice something from brother's countenance alone, I sigh to myself.
カタリナがこの船にいるのか。
While we request a royal guard to relay a meeting request to Giordo, I barely contain my shock at Sophia's words. Katerina claims she is the fiancée of my childhood friend Giordo and the one with whom I've fallen in love. She was the first person outside my direct family who understood my feelings.
ご両親はあんなに素敵で、妹さんはあんなに可愛くて、ニコル様は
She so clearly understood the feelings I longed to express. I hated how people assumed I was suffering because of my sister telling me that I was in an unfortunate situation. I completely gave up on others ever understanding how blessed I felt to have such a wonderful sister, but then she appeared. That's why I've fallen for her, but I have no intentions of stealing away my childhood friend's fiancé.
だから俺はこの思いを悟られるわけにはいかない。ソフィアの言うような抜け駆けなどしない。
All I want is to be near her so that I can watch over her. But there is no way I can hide my elation after hearing that she is on this ship.
ああ、ニコルとソフィアだったか。
これは。
Giordo and Alan are shocked into silence by my unconcealed smile as I entered the room.
それではキース様、カタリナ様、私どもは荷物を運び込んでおきますので。
キャンベル様のお荷物はこちらでお預かりしてお部屋へ届けさせていただきますね。
ええ、お願いね。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
After leaving the luggage with the maids, I go out onto the deck and watch the ship set sail. I arrive on deck to the salty smell of the sea breeze. The aquamarine horizon stretches out before me.
すごーい。本当に海だわ。 敵な景色ですね。
あ、見て見て、カモメがいる。
I went up to the railing and inhaled deeply. That's the smell, alright. How exciting. How do I describe it? It's extraordinary. The smell of adventure is making my heart race. I looked to the port to see the townspeople crowded to get a look. A ship like this must be a rare sight. Oh, this is like the ship departure scene from the novels. I wonder if they start throwing streamers.
ああ、もう姉さん、そんなに身を乗り出したら危ないよ。
Keith pulls on my arm. With my thoughts full of the thrill of departure and life on the ship, I turned to look at Keith with a huge smile. Let's eat delicious food.
キス、美味しいものたくさん食べましょうね。
姉さん、食べ過ぎちゃダメだって言ったじゃないか。
大丈夫よ。食べ過ぎないよ。たくさん食べるから。
それ、矛盾しているからね。
や、カタリナ。
That voice. I turn around to see the face that matches that very familiar voice. It's the prince.
カタリナ、あなたも来ていると聞いて探していたんですよ。
Yep, ever since he heard about her, he's been looking for her.
ジオルド様、それにアラン様もニコル様まで。
カタリナ、久しぶりだな。
まさか本当に来ているとはな。
I'm sure Giordo and Ellen have official duties here as princes, so it's no surprise to find them at important social gatherings, and Nicole is likely participating as a proxy for the Prime Minister. Just as I wish Sophia could be here too, she appears, popping out from behind Nicole.
カタリナ様、お会いできて嬉しいですわ。ソフィア。
I take her hand joyfully as Sophia responds with a smile.
ソフィアも来ていたなんて嬉しいわ。お父様に無理を言ってお兄様についてきたんです。まさかカタリナ様がいらっしゃるなんて思いませんでした。お会いできて本当に嬉しいです。本当はキースだけのはずだったんだけど、いろいろあって。でもどうしてソフィアはそんなに来たかったの？実は最近「花の霊場は海に抱かれて」というロマンス小説のシリーズを読んで夢中になってしまいまして。
She blushes, putting her hand to her cheek. It's the same face she makes whenever we talk about romance novels.
それでどうしても海が見たくなってお兄様についてきたんです。
It's almost like she's gone on a pilgrimage. It must be a pretty good book. Sophia has read so many romance novels in her life. She's a pro among pros. She was already well read even at 10 years old when we first met, and it was the reason we became friends. Though lately she's been really going off on the deep end with borderline BL and infidelity. But this book is enough to impress a seasoned veteran like Sophia. It's definitely worth a read.
それでどんな話なの？霊場が海賊によって婚約者から引き離され、さらわれた海賊船の中で海賊と新たな愛を育んでいく略奪の物語ですわ。
That doesn't describe Silva at all. Which is really funny. Wow, sounds pretty extreme.
霊場が婚約者から引き離されて。そうですか。
For some reason, Giordo's smile gives me the shivers. Maybe I got a chill from the ocean breeze.
父にやけに熱心に同行を頼み込んでいるとは思っていたが、まさかそんな理由だったとは。
船や海、潮風、小説のような世界を体感したくてお兄様についてまいりましたの。あ、花の霊場は海に抱かれてももちろん持ってきていますから、後ほどカタリナ様にもお貸しいたしますわ。いいの？嬉しい。
待ってください。カタリナは読まなくていいです。
I didn't expect interference from this direction. How could he just go and say that? What does he mean I don't need to read it? Oh, maybe he wants to read it first. But it's not like I'd spoil it for him.
あら、カタリナ様の意思を無視するなんて、それが婚約者のすることですの？
This voice. It's my friend Mary Hunt, her voice that of an elegant noble woman. She's one of my beloved childhood friends and the fourth daughter of Marquis Hunt. She was shy when we first met, but she's grown up to be such an upstanding lady as to be called the flower of society.
メアリー！カタリナ様！お会いできて嬉しいですわ！
来ていることは知っていましたが、こうも早くカタリナを見つけてくるとは。
Speaking of flower, you have a giant flower in your hair.
カタリナ様、ぜひご一緒させてくださいね。
ええ、もちろんよ。メアリも来ていたなんて嬉しいわ。
Mary happily grips my hand. I'm happy to see another childhood friend here.
家族と来ていたのですけれど、カタリナ様がいらっしゃっていると人づてに聞き及びまして、お探ししていたのですわ。
相変わらず社交界の花は情報が早いですね。ですが、人の会話に割って入るというのは貴族令嬢の鏡と呼ばれるあなたの立場ではいかがなものかとも思いますが。
あら、それをおっしゃるなら、先にカタリナ様とソフィア様の話に割って入ったジオルド様の方が無粋というものでは？
Both of them are smiling, but the air is feeling thin. Maybe I did stay out in the breeze too long. As I stand there confused, I feel a tug on my sleeve.
カタリナ様、後でジオルド様に見つからないようこっそりお渡ししますわ。
え、いいの？
もちろんですわ。お約束します。
Sophia is such a nice girl. I want to skip all the memory scenarios too because they can be a really long read sometimes. And I've already read them in previous episodes too. I feel fortunate to have such a caring friend. Sophia and I talk up a storm about a novel we recently read when I noticed someone stand up.
ソフィア、学校とは違い、他の貴族の目も多くある。羽目を外しすぎないように。
Nicole warns his sister gently, casting his soft smile on the two of us.
ええ、分かっていますわ、お兄様。
もちろんです。
I feel a little dizzy as I nod. Nicole's smile exudes a devilish aura. His charm is as powerful as ever. Nicole has always been this way. He was handsome even as a boy, but now his charm is truly what I call devilish. The student council members of his class were spellstruck by his aura. It caused so many issues everyone but the president quit. Another woman nearby must also have been struck by that aura. Before my eyes, she blushes and falls faint to the floor. She collapsed. I've been around him so long I've almost gotten used to it, but even still I can feel a blush on my cheeks. His nearly deadly charm grows in strength every year. I'm sure this ship is chock full of unsuspecting victims.
にしても、結局いつもと変わり映えしないメンバーが揃ったな。
And yet I don't think that she ever passed out once. She just almost did several times. Alan's voice brings me back to my senses and I look around to see the usual suspects. Right, all the student council members and me. Giordo, Keith, Alan, Nicole, Maria, Mary, and Sophia are all members of the student council. The student council members are selected by academic achievements and magical prowess. Everyone is highly capable. To be exact, I'm not a member. When everyone joined the council, I alone was left out, so they probably invite me so often out of concern. Thanks to that, I was able to become friends with Maria and become a sort of secondary member of the council. The student council president isn't here, I guess. Thinking about the incident before the spring break leaves me feeling down, but then the sound of trumpets blow away my haze. The fanfare melts into a musical a full musical performance. This must be the departure ceremony. Seeing the people remaining on the shore waving flags, I feel that the voyage will begin soon. Wave at the shore.
Yahoo! Minasan!
Keith grabs my arm as I lean over the railing to wave at the shore.
姉さん、危ないよ。
Keith looks so troubled that I realize I got a bit too carried away.
ごめんごめん。つい気持ちが高揚しちゃって。それよりキースはちゃんと見えてる？
僕なら平気だから。姉さんは自分のことだけ心配していて。そこに足をかけてたら危ないから。
I had placed my foot on the bottom railing of the deck and Keith noticed. He pulls me down. He always treats me like such a child. I'm the oldest sister, yet command none of the respect.
ほら、それより姉さん、セレモニーを見てごらんよ。
I look at the shore like Keith suggests, and I see a wonderful ceremony orchestrated with magic. Perhaps to show the people of Quiddar magic, sorcerer magic users are giving a rare performance. They're using wind magic to make their flower petals dance, and their fire magic swirls and changes colors like fireworks. The elegant sight makes me realize how blessed the magic of sorcerer is. Then again, all I can use is earth bump to raise a hump in the ground, but there's no need to feel bad about not being talented at magic. Because the doom flags have all been evaded now. There's no need to worry about my doom anymore, and all my friends are here. I think this will be a great spring break. Guess it will be a great spring break, because there is no doom in your common route, so you are free. 1 week on this luxurious cruise, I am looking forward to it.
Yo ようやくここまで来られましたわ。魔法を使って何とか人に見つからないようここまでたどり着いたけれど、まだ油断はできませんわ。
Right now, most people are on deck waiting for the ship to set sail. I must search out a place to hide before anyone catches me. If by any chance Marquise Ryle were to see me, I would be forced off the ship without a single word.
ライル様、私負けませんから。
I don't think she said that in the first route we saw her, which was Alan's. I cannot agree to stay out of sight. I will have my turn to speak. For some reason, I believe that I must take action now before it is too late.
とりあえず今はどなたにも見つからないよう隠れる場所を探さなくてはなりませんわ。待っていてください、ライル様。
I put my hand over my heart, praying to find an open cabin somewhere as I quietly board the ship. Also, it didn't say her name was Liliana either the first time. The vinculum has left the dock and I'm completely ecstatic. It's my first time on a moving ship. The ocean stretches as far as I can see in every direction and is truly incredible.
すごい！これが船の揺れってやつね。うわ、見て、あそこ何か飛んだ。きっとイルカよ、イルカ。
姉さんはしゃぎすぎだよ。少し落ち着いて。
いやー、こんな大きな船がまさか動くなんて今でも信じられないわ。
頼むから夜までには落ち着いてね。クラエス公爵の名代として社交パーティーに出なきゃいけないんだから。
Oh, that's right, the party. I heard there will be a luxurious party every night for the week of the cruise. Normally, Mother would up the regularity of the lectures before these types of events, making me more and more anxious. But there will be tons of food from Quid. But with thoughts of the exotic delicacies of a foreign land, my worries become naught in comparison to my anticipation. The kingdom of Quid is so far away, I have no idea what sort of cooking they have there. It would be great if it was something like Japanese or Chinese food. I wouldn't say no to a hamburger, though.
1週間も戦場に拘束されるというのは少し憂鬱でしたが、カタリナと一緒ならとても楽しくなりそうですね。
そうだな。相変わらず俺たちの声は何も聞こえてないみたいだが。
She's in food heaven. Wait, is Quid close enough to make a round trip in just a week? I think of the world map from the academy. I'm not great at memorizing, but I at least remember the names of nearby nations. If memory serves me, Quid should be a faraway country on a different continent.
ねえキース、この船ってクイードとソルシエの共同開発だからお披露目として両国を往復するのよね。でも地図では1週間で行って戻れるような距離じゃなかったと思うんだけど、船ってそんなに速いの？
カタリナ、お前もしかしてほとんど予備知識なく乗ってるのか？
姉さん、いろいろ説明したはずだけど、さては浮かれて全然聞いてなかったね。
ごめんねキース。
はあ、まあいいよ、いつものことだから。それより今回の航海の予定だよね。確かに実際就航するのはブラン海域を挟んだソルシエとクイードを結ぶ航路なんだけど、今回はクイードまで行くわけじゃないんだ。
え、そうなの？
今回はソルシエでのお披露目ということですからね。クイードへは行かずにブラン海域の手前で途中で折り返すんですよ。
ああ、折り返すんですか。
ええ、リンクルム号の国籍はソルシエになっていますから、国境を越えるのは少々面倒なんですよ。
正式に就航していない披露会の段階ではいろいろと手続きも面倒だからな。
この船ってソルシエの船なの？
Glancing around and Quid designs are everywhere. It definitely feels like a foreign ship.
こんなにクイードの技術が入ってるし、友好のシンボルなら2国間で共有すればいいのに。
残念ながら国際法で船の国籍は一国に限定する決まりがあるので、それに向こうにもいろいろ事情はあるでしょう。
Reasons.
まあそのうち落ち着いたら同じような船をクイード籍でも作るんだろうし、そこまで気にすることじゃないだろう。
Yoda's words seem to hit at something, but as Alan said, is probably unimportant.
それに目に見えにくい場所ではあるが、この船にはソルシエの魔法技術も多く使われている。ソルシエ石を名乗っても恥じることはない。
そうなんですか？
I didn't know it used magic too. Speaking of, maybe Keith did mention something about that in the carriage.
でもどこに使われてるのかしら？
At the pool. At first glance, I don't see anything powered by magic. I tilt my head to the side and notice Maria smiling.
長期間の船旅が快適に送れるよう細やかなフォローに使われているそうですよ。例えばあちらです。
Maria points at the sails.
風魔法があれば凪でも安定して帆へ風を送れるので、クルーズ船として計画的な運航が可能になるとか。あ、なるほど。確かにそれは便利ね。
ええ、同じく風魔法は空調管理にも使われているとお聞きしましたわ。
これだけ大きな船ですと内部の空気はよどみますからね。
他にも魔法を使った浄水・増水設備を作り、船上での安定的な水の供給も可能になったそうだ。
あと兼用装置にも魔法が使われているとお聞きしましたわ。
世界で初めての魔反戦とでも呼べるかもしれませんわね。結構いろんなところに使われているのね。
It's true that when I boarded the ship, I had no sense of stagnant air. I would never have guessed it was magical air conditioning.
ちなみにその増水技術と炎の魔法を合わせて温浴施設まで作ったらしいぞ。
おお、それは楽しみですね。
I've heard that there's a huge public bath at the Palace of Sorcier, but it requires reservations. I've never been able to visit. Just imagining going to a big public bath with everyone. Yeah, it sounds like fun. Everyone.
他にもライブラリーやギャラリーラウンジ、カジノやプールなど様々な施設があるという話だ。
Oh, a library and a gallery lounge. I've never gone to a casino before, but the pool.
ってプール？プールまであるの？
I excitedly remember going to the public swimming pool with my brothers in my past life.
姉さん、プールを知ってるの？
He sounds so offended or ashamed.
プールってあれでしょ？水着を着て水遊びをする。
お前が他国の文化をよく知っていたな。
Huh? I thought it was common knowledge, but considering how surprised everyone looks, it seems that pools are special. Speaking of which, I haven't once gotten to swim in a pool since getting my memory back. It seems it's not a culture of sorcier.
もしかしてプールってクイードの文化でした？
もしかしなくてもそうだ。なんだ？知らなかったのか？
いやー、昔にどこかで聞いたことあるなーってぐらいで。
I see, so in this role, pools are a custom of the Kingdom of Quid. Quid is a nation of advanced engineering and sciences, so maybe their culture and values are closer to my previous life than Sorcier.
でもプールでは水着という肌を露出する衣服を着るのでしょ？不特定多数の方がいる場でそんな格好をするのは少し恥ずかしいです。水着？そうですわね。淑女として肌を出すのは。
I'm sorry, she says this, but her dress right now. Sorry, I just had to.
一応そのあたりはソルシエの貴族にも抵抗が少ないよう予約をして貸し切る形で配慮されているようだ。
ええ。ただ王城の大浴場とは違い男女で分かれていませんから、仲のいい友人同士や婚約者同士で楽しめる設備になっているそうですよ。
あら、友人同士で楽しめるだなんてとても素敵ですわね。
If it's by reservation only, I'm sure everyone will be alright with it. I hadn't expected them to be so bashful. I never think of swimsuits as something embarrassing, so it slipped my mind. A pool, huh? I'm sure it would feel great under the hot sun.
今の時期だと水遊びをするにはちょっと寒くないですか
？It's the start of spring break. I was able to nap in the courtyard at school, but that doesn't mean it's warm enough to swim.
そのあたりも魔石の力を使った空調制御で基本的には一年中楽しめるよう設計されてるらしい。
Huh. Magical stones. Maybe it's like a heated pool.
水着も船内に用意されているようなので好きなデザインのものを選べるそうですよ。
おー。
That means I can go for a dip even though I didn't bring a swimsuit. Now that I know there's a heated pool and they have swimsuits ready, I can't wait to swim.
じゃあみんなで遊びに行きませんか？
Oh my gosh! I suggest that Jira and Mary turn towards me aggressively. Oh my goodness. Could it be that they're as bothered by swimsuits as Sophia is?
ああ、でもそのためには予約を取らないといけないんでしたっけ？
それはご心配なく。僕の方で今日一日貸し切りの手配をしていますから。
カタリナが来てるって聞いてすぐ王族の権限をここぞと使ってな。
きっとカタリナ様と二人で使う気だったに違いありませんわ。油断なりません。
アラン、メアリー、何か言いましたか？
ああ、いや。
いいえ、気のせいではないですか？
I like how he's using his authority to be like, huh, what was that? And I was like, no, nothing.
つまり予約は取れてるから プールに入っていいってこと？
ええ、もちろんです。カタリナ、他の方々は水着に抵抗があるようですし、二人で一緒に泳ぎに行きましょう。
He blushes as he says that. Let's go enjoy it after ourselves.
あら、いつ私がそのようなことを言いました？さあカタリナ様、一緒に参りましょう。カタリナ様に一番似合う水着を選んでみせますわ。
メアリー、大丈夫？無理してない？
全然大丈夫ですわ。
ソフィアとマリアはどうする？
私も大丈夫です。
ぜひカタリナ様とご一緒させてください。
The girls were embarrassed about the swimsuits earlier, but I felt relieved to see that they are looking forward to it now. Thank goodness, I did want to enjoy it with everyone. Miraculously, all of the usual members are gathered on board. I hope we can all spend time together too. Between the pool and food from Quid, there's more and more to enjoy. I typically don't like these social gatherings, but I think I can get through this with so much fun ahead. Alright, I better exercise so I can get hungry and eat more at the party. Fortunately, there's still plenty of time until the party tonight. We head to the pool to select our swimsuits. Oh. This is new.
どうしよう、彼女が来てる。
Seeing him look so pathetically nervous annoys me to the point that I frown.
はあ？彼女ってなんだよ。こいつ、まさか女のために俺を呼んだんじゃないだろうな。
According to the plan, I'm supposed to stay on the cigarette until the day we strike. He was supposed to be undercover on the vacuum that he suddenly contacts me just before the ship departs. I thought it was some kind of emergency, so I hurried over, and this is what I hear.
つうか、こいつがする女の話なんて、カタリナ・クライスのことしか思い浮かばねえが。
Why does he say that? He doesn't think that's her? But her name isn't on the passenger list, so what's going on? This is stupid, but I'm not going to figure anything out unless I ask. I scratch my head and speak up.
で、何があったんだよ。
それが、カタリナが弟と一緒にいて、クラエス夫妻の代わりに参加することになったみたいなんだ。
マジか。
So it is about Katerina Clays after all.
だからって作戦は待ったなしだぞ。
わかってる。
それならいいけどな。
He's like, well, we're good then.
だけど
も何もあるか。用がそれだけなら俺は行くぞ。
大丈夫だとは思うけど、くれぐれもカタリナに怪我とかさせないでよ。絶対彼女だけには。
No, anyone but her. That's what Silva said whenever he was trying to hide his past. He wants anyone but her to know. Makes me sad. He really called me just for that. His desperation makes me more disgusted than annoyed. I sigh out loud.
怪我はさせない。怪我はな。お前こそ長年会いたかった相手だってのはわかるが、下手に近づいて悟られるなよ。
See, Rosie said of this meeting in Silva's route, I think. Or maybe it was in Rose. No, he said this in Rosie's route. He mentioned this meeting, but this meeting was never discussed during Rosie's route.
もちろん分かっているよ。
本当だろうな。
His lack of confidence has me more and more concerned. He's usually good at his work, but he loses focus when it comes to Katerina Clays. I've heard him talk about Katerina for so long that I'm sure of it.
たく、何事も起きないといいんだがな。
I put my hand on my head and stare up at the ceiling. The journey hasn't even started, yet we've already begun to steer off course. I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah. We head to the changing rooms to change into swimsuits, then head to the pool.
お待たせみんな。
Keith is like, oh my gosh. Nicole's in face as ever, and Jona's they're checking her out. The boys are already at the pool, so I run to join them. For some reason, Keith and Alan start to back away.
姉さん、頼むから走らないで。
お前はまた恥ずかしげもなく。
Giorno merely smiles, and Nicole keeps his calm expression. In contrast, Keith and Alan stand around awkwardly. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but their faces look red too. Maybe the pool is hotter than expected.
姉さんは恥ずかしいとかないの？
何が？
わからないならいいよ。
お前は本当に相変わらずだな。
カタリナ、その水着、とても似合っていますね。
ああ、素敵だ。
ありがとうございます。ジオルド様、ニコル様。皆さんの水着も素敵ですね。
It's so refreshing to see everyone in a swimsuit. I give my earnest thoughts, and Nicole blushes slightly.
そうだろうか。このように肌を見せるなどあまりないから少し緊張していた。
Right as Nicole smiles bashfully, I feel a wave of that devilish charm. And there's the dizziness. You know, I mentioned this in one of the other routes, but Katarina is not showing any more skin than she is in her ballroom attire, which is just her shoulders. That is like a full-on dress that she's wearing. My face feels warm, so I back away, but as I do, I realize the heat is from the air conditioning. Whatever.
そういえば、甲板と違ってここは暖かいですね。暑いぐらいです。
プールの水に入った時に心地よいようにと温暖な環境にしてあるんでしょうね。
Oh, I see. So this is what we were talking about earlier. The ship's facilities are pretty amazing. With a little more adjustment, they could make a tropical resort in a frozen north or a cooler facility in the southern regions. Unfortunately, I can only use Earthboat, so I'll have to pass on that golden goose. Anyway, I'm sure it'll feel great to swim in the pool in this heat. The excitement from earlier comes roaring back, and I turn to look at Maria and the others.
さあ、みんな早くプールに。ってあれ？3人ともどうしたの？
Those are long dresses too. I mean, what the heck? So why are you embarrassed?
カタリナ様は恥ずかしくはないのですか？
恥ずかしいって何が？
このような服装は今までしたことがありませんでしたので。
Oh, I see. They're a bit shy because of the swimsuits. I completely forgot about it because everyone was so excited about dressing me up in their chosen swimsuit. But Maria looks so cute when she's bashful. If this wasn't a tummy game, there definitely would have been a CG of the boys blushing. It was, but it was because of you. Like, right now. I glance over at the boys, and Keith and Alan are still staring at the ground beat red. I wonder if this was in any of the other routes. I don't recognize that part. But I'm sure they're completely charmed by Maria. We got to the friendship inn at school, but that might change here. Nope, not here. We're playing the friendship route here too. I'll be sure to support them if it happens. This is my chance to really make use of my Atomi skills from my past life.
ところでカタリナ、その後ろにあるのは何ですか？
ふんふんふん。よくぞ聞いてくれました。浮き輪や水風船のような遊び道具があったので借りてきたんです。
By my feet are a stack of pool playthings that I found earlier. I'm surprised to find these types of toys in this world. That said, they're not made of rubber. The colorful swimming rings and balloons are actually made from cloth and leather. I heard that they reinforce and waterproof them using quick technology. That's pretty amazing. Also, in Quid, they seem to have names for the swimming ring and balloons, but unfortunately I forgot what they were. So I'm just going to call them Quidian swimming rings and Quidian water balloons. Anyway, it's pool time. Let's go play. First, we're going to do warm-up stretches.
まずは準備運動ですよね。
And we get to freak out Alan.
準備運動
Alan looks genuinely curious about what I said. It seems that he didn't know that you need to warm up before swimming. In a nation with no pools, it's not surprising, so I have to teach them.
ええ、しっかり準備運動をすることで怪我の防止になるんですよ。こうして。
I was about to help him try it, but for some reason he brushes my hand away.
お前そんな格好で気軽に触れてくるなよ。
そんな格好ってただの水着ですよ。それより足がつったらいけませんから。
If you get a cramp while swimming, you could drown. This isn't something I can afford to take lightly. The first thing to do is stretch your Achilles tendon. As I crouch down to move Alan's heel, he makes a break for it.
わかったから、とにかく口で教えてくれ。
わかりました。では、私のポーズを真似してみてください。
I tried to show a good example of spreading my legs while stretching my Achilles tendon.
よっ。はい、続けてください。
お前な、仮にも淑女がそんな大股開き。
足がつってからじゃ遅いんですよ。はい、次はこっちを。
驚きました。アラン様にも可愛らしい面があるのですね。
ええ、意外な一面というものですわね。はあ、でもカタリナ様に手取り足取り準備運動を教えてもらえるなんてずるいです。アラン様に負けないようお兄様にも頑張っていただかないと。
Alan's so cute with his embarrassment attitude. This location affords a fine position to observe the events occurring at the pool. From what I gather, the royal family of Sorcière is enjoying the pool with some of the other nobles. I can't help but chuckle considering the fate that awaits them.
無邪気なものだ。
I hear one of the noble women call the blonde girl Maria.
俺がマリア・キャンベルか。
She is known to have particularly powerful light magic. At a glance, she appears a sweet, beautiful girl, a commoner of 16 years. She should be an easy target to manipulate. Luck is on my side. This plan will surely succeed. So many preparations have been made for this moment.
戻るぞ。
は。
My right-hand man stands at attention as I turn to leave. For now, another matter requires my attention. Not a moment can be spared if my grand ambitions are to be realized. I will observe them to my heart's content, but all in due time. When he's experimenting on them. Oh my goodness. We enjoy our time playing at the pool. Floating on the swimming ring and chatting with everyone, I think about taking a break.
全員それなりに泳げることが分かりましたし、プールの端から端まで泳いで競争してみませんか。
That's kind of funny. He says, now that we all know that we can swim at least, as if he thought maybe one of them didn't know how to swim. Which could very likely be true.
競争？
ええ、もちろん勝負ですから、負けた側は勝った側のしてほしいことを一つ叶えるというルールでやるんです。
Oh, I see. So it's like a punishment game for the loser. That sounds like fun.
うん、それならぜひ。
ちょっと待った。
ん？
ジオルド様がほとんどプールサイドから動かないので少しおかしいなという気はしていたんですが、もしかして最初からそれを姉さんに持ちかけるつもりだったんじゃないですよね。
まあ、お一人だけ体力を温存していたということですか？ひどいですわ、ジオルド様。
さて、何を言っているのかわかりませんね。ね、カタリナ。
I have no idea what you mean.
罰ゲーム激辛ジュースかな。いや、青汁みたいな苦いやつもあるような。それとも酸っぱいジュース？
If she's saying this all out loud, it's kind of funny.
聞いてませんね。
ええ、カタリナ様らしいですわ。
それより不穏な言葉が聞こえてくるのですがカタリナ様は何を考えていらっしゃるのでしょう。
激辛とか酸っぱいとか聞こえてきますね。
It's hard to think of a good punishment game. I like it to be fun. If we're going to really do this, I'd like to think of a game that everyone will actually enjoy playing. In my previous life, the one comedians did on the variety shows were way too extreme. A race.
なんだかアラン様と子供の頃木登りで競い合ったのを思い出しますね。
I whispered to Alan, who's standing beside me, and he looks a bit surprised.
また懐かしい話を。
Alan kept challenging me to tree climbing races when we first met. He said he wanted to beat me at something I was good at doing. But they didn't call me the monkey girl in my past life for nothing. I never lost, not once. In the end, I became friends with Alan because of that. I remember little Alan coming to the Clay's estate demanding a rematch again and again.
でもさすがに泳ぎは木登りほど得意じゃないんだろ。
ええ、そうなんですけど、頭を使う系のゲームよりはうまくいくかなと思いまして。
いや、その理屈はどうかと思うぞ。
Well, I've got nothing to worry about with physical stuff like swimming. Nobles tend to like strategy games like Reversi and card games. But I'm bad at those thinking games. To top it off, I haven't had a competition like this in a while, so I'm feeling pumped up.
姉さん、やる気満々みたいだけど、負けたら言うことを聞かなくちゃいけないんだからね。
I still can't think of a good punishment game. Making the loser speed eat desserts? No, that's not punishment.
ダメだ。また全然耳に入っていないな。
俺は勝負も悪くないと思う。はじめに問題のありそうな命令さえ排除しておけば。
確かにそうですわね。例えばカタリナ様に限定して何かをしてもらうというような類の命令さえ排除しておけば。
おや、メアリ嬢は負けるおつもりなんですか？
あら、チオルド様は私のようにか弱い淑女が男性の泳ぎに勝てるとお思いでして？
勝てそうに見えるが。
何か言いまして、アラン様？
いや、なんでもない。
I like how it's all of these like first 3 chapters. Did you say something? Yeah. There was that funny face contest, but that might be difficult for everyone here. Sophia and Maria have already said they're tired of swimming. Sophia isn't too good at swimming in the first place. She's been taking frequent breaks. Would it be fair if they had a tough punishment game? What kind of punishment game would be okay even if Sophia and Maria did it? I dig through the memories of my past life trying to come up with anything when I'm reminded of a scene from a manga.
語尾に「にゃん」ってつけるのはどうかしら？
は？
にゃん。
姉さん、いきなり何を言い出すの？
カタリナはまた面白いことを言い出しますね。でも一体どういうことですか？
Exactly what she said.
実は罰ゲームを考えていたんですが、負けた側はプール遊びをしている間だけ語尾ににゃんをつけて話すんです。ここには私たちしかいませんし、どうです？いいアイデアでしょ？
If the others were here, it would be bad for our reputations as nobles, but it should be no issue at a private pool party. Besides, I want to hear them meow. I'm almost grinning ear to ear just thinking about it. Yeah, Mary, Maria, Sophia are pretty, so it would definitely be cute.
にゃんって
Or are they practicing though?
カタリナ様のニャンが聞けるんですか？
A meowing Lady Katarina.
二人きりの時なら聞きたいですが、それでは勝った人の特権が少ないじゃないですか。
いや、それより万が一負けたら俺がそれを語尾につけなきゃいけないのか。
それはごめんですわね。
聞いている側も罰ゲームですよ。
Just noticed the light in Joro's eyes just went out. He's like, no, don't want to.
でもカタリナ様のニャン
What the heck?
そんなの聞きたいに決まってますわ。
Alan's got a weird, Alan's got an awkward blushing going on, and Keith's got like a dreamy blush going on. What the heck?
でも万が一ジオルド様が勝ってしまったら
独り占めするだろうな。
Laugh, laugh. He's like, I don't like this. It seems like everyone's frozen up. Maybe meowing is overdoing it. I thought it sounded fun, but if they don't like it, it can't be helped. I wonder if there is something else that could work. I go to myself, deep with thought, still floating in the swimming ring. Unable to come up with any good ideas, we end up going with Keith and Mary's suggestion to put it off for another day. I really wish we could have done this. I've been wanting that since the very beginning. I think this is new too. Oh no, it's not okay. This is in his route as well, I think. After getting out of the pool, I, Alan Stewart, sit alone in my room thinking back on Katarina's words. Now that we'll think about how he fell in love with her.
木登りで競い合ったのを思い出すか。
To be honest, the way she whispered to me about those precious days, I felt rather agitated. I've only recently become aware of my feelings. I'm not used to these feelings. It's hard to remain calm when she's so close. Katarina Clays, I've only just realized, but I've liked her for so long. Yeah, it's hard to stay calm when she's so close. I'm thinking back to the closet scene where she's like forced to be in his face.
アラン様にはアラン様の得意なものがあるでしょうから、向き不向きがあって当たり前ですよ。
That's what she said to me when I was always so irritable from being compared to my twin brother. When I was small, I was called the dregs of my twin brother Giordo. No matter what we did, Giordo would accomplish it masterfully without so much as breaking a sweat. Even though we are twins, there was such a yawning chasm of difference between us. The servants used to gossip, saying that Giordo must have taken all the good quality traits while we were in the womb. While I became more self-conscious around Giordo, he didn't show any interest in me. That's what I believed anyway. But after meeting Katarina, I realized that I had been making assumptions and was able to regain my own sense of self. We've been close since childhood, but it wasn't until an incident in our first year at the academy that I realized my feelings.
まさかそんな時に1週間の船の上で一緒に過ごすことになるとはな。
I wonder what incident it was. Maybe it was like the magical house, or they each had to live out their fantasy with Katarina in their dreams. Maybe that was it. I don't know. Katarina lived out her dream of food, obviously. And that's when they're like, oh, she really doesn't like anyone. No. Although our other childhood friends are also here, I'm still feeling restless. She always leaves herself so unguarded. I think back to Katarina in her swimsuit and place my hand on my forehead with a sigh. The other ladies looked embarrassed, but Katarina showed none of it. She doesn't distinguish between girlfriends and guy friends. It made me turn red so many times. Thinking about it again. Remembering anymore will only make it worse. I shake my head and make myself get up. But memories of Katarina smiling and laughing at the pool flash through my thoughts, making me dizzy with lovesickness once more. Oh, lovesickness. That's cute. After leaving the pool, we head to our rooms and rest while preparations for the party are still underway.
ああ、よく遊んだ。
As I dive into bed, I met with a soft, gentle fragrance. Smells good. I turn over and notice a small sachet by my pillow. The aroma seems to be coming from there. The sachet is adorably embroidered. It would be a hit at the shops back home. This really is a luxury liner. They put so much care into the details. Anyway, I had so much fun. Life was so hectic after enrolling in the academy, always on guard for doom flags. It's been so long since I've let loose. I only meant to work up an appetite with a bit of exercise, but now I'm starving. Yeah, I'm so hungry now. To be honest, I don't think I can even wait until the party. The maid says she would be by soon to help me prepare, but my stomach is going to be roaring by the time we're done. That's how long preparations for these parties take. They'll pull my hair while squeezing my torso in a corset. Only after that will I look like a full-fledged noblewoman. But I want a little nibble before enduring that painful experience.
部屋に何かないかしら。
I look around the room hoping for some luxury fruit basket. Unfortunately, I don't find a thing. But if I go to the party as is, my stomach will be growling the whole time. It wouldn't look good for a duke's daughter to show up with her growling stomach. Keith would definitely scold me. Mother told me not to overeat at parties, right? I'll just get a bite in beforehand. I think the person who guided us to our room said that you can get a light meal in the lounge. Alright, let's get a snack. I get it from bed and head out the door. Where was the lounge again? I take a look around, but I have no idea where the lounge is. I don't remember seeing a place like that on my way from the pool. Well, I could just find someone and ask. I'm sure I'll come across a crew member if I keep walking around, so I begin to ramble in hopes of finding one. I eventually make my way to a lounge, but it isn't the one I wanted. I found myself at a gallery lounge. Wow, this must be that gallery lounge that everyone was talking about earlier. Gorgeous paintings and other works of art line the room, and a pianist plays live music. I noticed a few other passengers relaxing on the sofa while appreciating the artwork. The art is nice and everything, but it doesn't fill my stomach. No one here seems to be eating. There don't seem to be any servers here either. I decided to continue my hunt and come back another time. Just as I am turning around, a flash of color catches the corner of my eye. What is that? The necklace that drove Nicole to you. It is a necklace fitted with an amber stone. It piques my curiosity and I am pulled toward it like a moth to a flame. Observing it closely, I can see that the stone is slightly smudged. Even though it's so intricately crafted, what a shame. I wonder what would happen if I wipe it clean and reach out subconsciously. But my fingers bump into a glass case first. Alright, it's an art piece, so of course you can't touch it.
でも、これって何の美術品なんだろう。
それは魔女の瞳と呼ばれているネックレスだよ。
Someone suddenly speaks to me. I look to my side to see an unfamiliar man. I wonder why this is the only time he wears his noble attire. And on the deck too. I wonder why, if he's here to cover, he chooses to dress in his noble attire twice.
魔女の瞳？
そう。光の加減ではまるで瞳みたいに見えるだろう。
Yes, if the light catches on it just right, it appears to stare back, doesn't it? But I wonder about the name. If it were meant to be eyes, 2 stones would have been better. My stomach just growled, and right in front of a complete stranger. And we're going to cover it up.
うわー！すごい雷の音でしたね。
え、雷？
いやー、嵐が近づいているんですかね。その前に腹ごしらえをしておかないと。
Unfortunately, my stomach growls again, ruining my attempts to play it off. I don't think I can play dumb any longer. I look up at him and see his shoulders shaking. Oh no, is he upset with me? Sorry, that wasn't really thunder, it was just my stomach. But as I panic on what to say, he looks at me with a smile.
お腹が空いているの？
Thinking back on it now, this is how he met her the first time. He met a hungry, stomach growling girl.
あいにくこういうものしか持ち合わせがないんだけど、もしよかったら。
I wonder how nostalgic this feels for him. He produces something from his pocket, and he gives her the exact same thing too. Gummy candies! He holds in his hand what looks like a pack of gummy candies from my past life. They don't exist in Sorcière, so it's the first time I've seen them in this life. I almost jumped for them. I just barely come to my senses. As a duke's daughter, I need to show proper etiquette.
珍しいお菓子をありがとうございます。せっかくですし、いただきますね。
I thank him before taking the gummies and eating one. I'm just thinking, oh, she's so much cuter when she does this as an adult. That's my first thought. That's why it was funny to me.
やっぱり。
Yep. She's the same girl you met back then.
ところでこれ、ソルシエでは見ないお菓子ですけど、グイードのお菓子なんですか？
ああ、うん。一応そういうことになるのかな。と言っても俺が趣味で作ったものだけど。
え？このグミ、あなたが作ったんですか？すごい。お菓子作りが趣味なんですね。
いや、別に趣味はお菓子作りに限らないんだけど、それよりもグミって？
あ、
Right, they look like the gummy candies from my past life, but that doesn't mean they have the same name.
このお菓子グミッとしてるからそんな名前なのかななんて。
グミッとしてるからか。面白いことを言うんだね。いや、うん。でもちょうどいいかな。実はまだこれには名前をつけていないんだ。だからグミっていう呼び方、そのままもらってもいい？
そんな付け方でいいんですか？
君に命名してもらえるならその方が俺も嬉しいし。ダメかな？
It would be much more special to him if you did.
いえ、私は構いませんが。
It wasn't my idea in the first place, but oh well. Back to the gummies. He must be a wonderful cook if he can create something so delicious. I chew more of the gummies I was given, and the person in front of me laughs again.
どうしました？
うんうん。美味しそうに食べてもらえて嬉しいなって思って。
いえいえ、このグミがあまりに美味しいので。
姉さん、知らない人から食べ物をもらうなんてダメだからね。美味しい食べ物をくれるからって見知らぬ人についていったらいけないからね。
I've completely forgotten about Keith's ever-present warning and have eaten the snack already. This is bad. If Keith finds out about this, he'll be fuming. Keith always knows whenever I eat a secret snack. I once ate a fruit I found in the garden at home, and he immediately figured out I had eaten something from the yard. Oh, I know. If I ask for his name, we'll become friends, and it won't be taking food from a stranger anymore.
名前！お名前を聞いてもよろしいですか？
ああ、ごめん。名乗ってなかったね。俺はロジ。 あ、いや、
Does he say this in the first street? I don't remember.
ロジーさん？
He was going to say Rosie and he stopped himself.
あ、うん。ロジー・リンドって言うんだ。ロジーでいいよ。気づいてるかもしれないけど、クイード人だよ。
I just realized that Lind is half of his last name too.
私はカタリナです。
For some reason, I feel like I shouldn't reveal that my father is a duke, so I just give him my first name.
うん。よろしく、カタリナ。ってごめん、こんな話し方じゃ君に失礼かな。
いえいえ、私も堅苦しいのは苦手なので、そのままで平気です。
そう、ならよかった。ああ、俺にも敬語はいらないよ。
じゃあ、ありがたく。ロジー、これからよろしくね。
There's no need to be so casual. Plus, he gets a nickname, so he's extra special off the bat. See? Rosie squints his eyes a little as he smiles. Something about his face looks familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. See, all the things that you miss on the first playthrough because you don't know how they're significant. Maybe we met somewhere before. At a ball somewhere maybe, but I've never met someone from Quid. I think I remember her saying that though. It must be my imagination. We might have just passed each other while I was wandering around looking for food.
そういえば、ロジーはもうこの船のプールに行った？実はさっき行ってきたんだけど、すごく広々としてて気持ちよくって。
へえ、プールか。いや、俺は行ってないかな。遊びに来るのはここぐらいで。
美術品が好きなの？さっきもここの展示品に詳しかったし。あ、またここに来たらロジーに会える？
We're friends now, so I like to introduce him to Keith. But on hearing my question, Rosie's eyes start to dart around.
あ、いや、俺は。
No, you cannot. He glances around us before moving closer to whisper in my ear.
実は俺、お客じゃなくて、この船の技術部スタッフなんだ。
え？そうなの？
He's so congenial and elegant, I assumed he was an acclaimed chef of squid, or maybe another nobleman. I know, look at his clothes. Like, what the heck? He said he's in the engineering department, so maybe he means the helm or does maintenance work. That's amazing in itself. I've heard that quiz technology is advanced, so I imagine his work must be quite impressive.
で、普段は作業着を着て管理区域の方で仕事をしているんだ。でも管理区域は狭苦しいからさ、休憩時間には私服に着替えてバレないように外の空気を吸いに来てるんだけど。
Maybe he secretly wanted to meet her. I look up at Rosie when he trails off and he's smiling impishly, his index finger on his lips.
実は仕事仲間にバレると大目玉なんだ。だから俺がここまで出歩いていること、誰にも言わないでいてもらえると助かるな。
By his colleagues, he means Silva. He's probably older than me, but his boyish playfulness seems to fit him adorably well. And he's like 6 years older than you. 6 or 7.
ええ、わかった。そういうことなら内緒にしておくわ。友達だものね。
友達？
We're friends already.
ええ、グミももらったし、もう友達よ。だから友達の秘密は必ず守るわ。これで私も共犯者ね。
I hope you're friends if you're calling him by a nickname. I hold up my hand for a handshake, but Rosie freezes up. Maybe forcing our friendship over a few gummies is pushing it after all. But I have a feeling that Rosie and I can become good friends. Keeping the ship moving is quite the feat. I'd like to talk to him about that too. Of course, I like to also avoid Keith yelling at me. I feel discouraged, thinking he might reject me, but after a moment, Rosie awkwardly shakes my hand.
うん。ありがとう、カタリナ。
He's the only guy out of all of the streets that when he's so happy that he blushes slightly. Those little tiny marks on his face. It just makes him so cute. Thank goodness he didn't get weirded out.
こちらこそ。とっても美味しいグミをありがとう。
Thanks to the gummies I ate, my stomach has stopped growling. Then I hear someone calling, Lady Katarina, where are you? It must be the maid. Oh no, I have to go get ready for the party. I never did find the lounge, but I've had a snack thanks to Rosie, so I may as well head back. I bid Rosie farewell, then meet up with the maid looking for me to return to my cabin. The entire time the maid dresses me, I am reprimanded for leaving my room without telling anyone.
じゃあロジー、またね。グミありがと
うん、また。
Katarina waves as she runs to the maid calling for her. I hold my breath until she's out of sight and then heave a deep sigh.
何やってるんだ俺は。下手に近づいて悟られるなってシルバに言われたばかりだったのに。
Fortunately, she didn't recognize me. That's sad in itself, but it's better than ruining the plan. I have to assume that this is for the best.
でも本当に彼女がこの船にいるだなんて。
I only saw the Duke and Duchess's name on the invitation list, so I was genuinely surprised to see Katarina coming aboard. But there's no way I would mistake her for anyone else. She still wears the same innocent smile she had 8 years ago. When I heard her friends call her name, I became certain. Katarina Clays, the girl I've wanted to meet for such a long time, is on this ship. For the sake of the mission, I can't approach her carelessly, but I can't put her out of my mind, so I have observed her from the shadows.
結局我慢できなかった。
It was that necklace. She seemed almost into trance when she reached for it. Something told me I had to stop her. It was in glass, so she wouldn't have touched it.
でも本当にまずかったな。
I may have disguised myself, but she saw my face. If she were to find out what I'm trying to do, nothing good can come of her knowing who I really am. I'm finally reunited with the girl I've missed so much, yet I can never tell her my feelings.
友達か。
She innocently called us friends just because I gave her those sweets. So be it. I'll play the role of a friend for now and then vanish without her ever learning the truth. But that means I have to continue to hide my position from her.
ずっとあの子を騙し続けるってことだよな。
Lying to such an innocent girl hurts my conscience, but no matter how heavily it weighs on my heart, I don't have a choice.
やらなきゃいけないんだ。
I think of the burden I must shoulder and take a deep breath. I strengthen my resolve and continue this lie. I think it said to continue this lie. It's fine. After returning to my room, we take our time getting ready, and now all that's left is to wait for the party to start. Thanks to those hours of prep work, a proper lady stands before me in the mirror, or at least what looks like one. I still have the face of a villainess, but I will finally be able to do what I came here to do. Look at her face. Villainess. I'm going to eat so much. I imagine the feast of quid cuisine and clench my fist in triumph. To be honest, these social functions are a pain, but my excitement for exquisite foreign food eclipses my worries. Thanks to the gummies from earlier, I'm full enough that my stomach isn't rumbling, but still hungry enough to enjoy the feast. I'm glad I requested to be given a little slack around my torso. Now I have a bit more leeway than usual. I'm lost in anticipation until I hear a knock on the door. Looks like Keith is here. Keith will be escorting me at today's party. Mother and father both insisted. Now let's get the party started, shall we? I forcefully throw open the door and...
カタリナ、迎えに来ましたよ。
Instead of Keith, Giorgio stands before me.
そのドレス姿も綺麗ですね、カタリナ。今日という日にあなたをエスコートできるなんて光栄です。
Giorgio, you are still my favorite, even after all this time. It's just because he's the smooth talker. Silva's sly and cunning and cute, but Giorgio, he just lavishes on the compliments.
エスコート？でも今日は確かキースが。
僕とあなたは婚約者同士なのですから、一緒に会場入りするのは ごく自然なことですよ。
It's true that it's normal to have your fiance escort you at the usual parties, but this is no regular party back home. Mother's lengthy letter lecture weighs on my mind. I had to enunciate those individually because they were just slurring together. Her letter said that I should never leave Keith's side. It directed that Keith should not let me out of his sight. Though I'm her daughter, Mother doesn't trust me at all. I'll also feel so much more at ease if Keith is with me. With Giorno, lots of important people will be coming to greet him. That would be such a hassle. My primary goal here is quid food, so I consider refusing, but in an elegant gesture, Giorno extends his hand expectantly.
さあ、カタリナ、どうぞ手を。
いや、ありがたいお誘いですが。
姉さん、入るよ。
They're too late. At that same moment, the door behind Giorno opens once more, revealing Keith.
キ
ジオルド様。
いやー、キース、随分とすごい勢いで入ってきましたね。ですが、弟とはいえ、淑女の部屋に返事を待たずに入ってくるなんて、マナーがなっていないんじゃありませんか？
申し訳ございません、ジオルド様。姉さんが助けを求めている気がしました。
Crying for help. That's funny. Great comeback, Keith. It seems like my initial pleading was heard. Great job, little brother. You are family after all.
なるほど。相変わらずの勘の鋭さですね。では、後ほどパーティーで。
No, except our choice is going to be ladylike, so...
何を勝手に姉さんを連れて行こうとしているんですか？
Why are you trying to kidnap her?
正式な婚約者がエスコートをするのが当然の流れでしょ？
僕は姉さんのエスコートをすると先に約束していました。母と父からも申し付かっているんです。
大変ですね、弟という立場も。安心してください。僕がきちんと役目を果たしますから。
いえ、結構です。今回は格式ばった城での舞踏会とは違いますし、ジオルド様のお手を煩わせるほどではないです。なので今日のところは身内である僕が姉さんをエスコートしますよ。
そこまで気を使ってくれなくても大丈夫ですよ、キース。大事な婚約者の隣に弟とはいえ他の男を置きたくないという男心で言っているのですから。
Those two are getting heated over something I don't get again. I've been failing out of the loop so often lately. It's nice to see them getting along, but as the older sister, I do feel a little lonely. In the game story, Giorno and Keith didn't have a good relationship, so it's a mystery how they ended up so close. They're not close. They're so close. Hey, it's Maria. I hear the door of my savior and quickly open the door. Oh, it's not just Maria, but everyone else too.
ごきげんよう、カタリナ様。あら、カタリナ様のお部屋も素敵な香りがしますのね。
あ、そうそう。可愛い刺繍のサシが置いてあって、もしかしてメアリの部屋も？
ええ、香りは少し違う気がしますが、私の部屋にもありましたわ。
私の部屋にもありました。カタリナ様のお部屋とはやはり違う香りのような気がしますが。きっと全部屋にいろんなタイプのが置かれているのね。
素敵な心遣いですね。
本当に？そういえばこの船に出資したベルダー公爵は化粧品など富裕層の女性をターゲットにした商品の取り扱いもしていましたわね。
そうなの？
ええ、手広い事業で巨額の利益を生み出しているとお聞きしましたわ。ですからこのサシェもベルダー公爵の提案かもしれませんわね。
さすが若手実業家として有名なベルダー公爵だな。
ああ、そういえばベルダー公爵の扱っている香水が人気だと聞いたことがあるな。
サシェも人気だったのか。
いえ、サシェは今までのラインナップになかったはずですから、この船のお披露目に合わせて特別に用意したものかもしれませんわね。
Wow, Mary's really keeping up with the rumor mill. Mary is a lady among ladies, the flower of society. I'm sure all sorts of information passes by her ears. His cosmetic business mainly targets women. I wonder if he's planning to sell this sachet in the future too. Aristocrats love new curiosities. When they find these in their cabins, people may find themselves wanting some for their homes. Even here, he's working to gain customers. The Marquis is a keen businessman. There was a time in the past when I wanted to sell Earth dolls, but I gave up because it would take too much work. I've overcome my doom flags, but maybe I should study his methods in case I need to start a life in exile.
国に戻った時にはきっとこのサシェが流行るに違いありませんわ。一体いくつ種類があるのかしら。
女性にはこういう匂いが人気なんだね。
Keith comments, looking around the room with a furrowed brow.
あれ、もしかしてキースは苦手だった？
苦手というか、個人的には少し鼻につくような感じがしてあまり好きじゃないかな。
I see. I think it smells nice, but everyone has their own preferences. As I nod to myself, I hear someone next to me clear the throat conspicuously.
それよりなぜメアリたちがこの部屋にいるのかお聞きしたいのですが。
It's not conspicuously at all. It's very obviously, excuse me. What are you doing here?
そうでしたわ。私たちカタリナ様をパーティーにお誘いしに来たんです
の。メアリ、あなたはアランのエスコートで参加すべきでは？アランはあなたの婚約者なのですから。
あら、一緒に会場へ入れば問題ありませんでしょ。ですから今日は皆さんで参りましょうとお誘いしているのですわ。
クイードとソルシエでは習慣も違いますし、今日は形式にこだわらないパーティーだと先ほどお伺いしました。
なのでぜひカタリナ様とご一緒できると嬉しいです。
A party that isn't formal, now that's what I've been waiting for. Speaking of which, I think Keith may have mentioned that too. I was lectured so much that I went into survival mode and prepared as though it would be another formal party. But if that's the case, then I can probably eat as much as I want. Hearing that the party will be fairly casual is making me even more excited.
でしたらみんなで行きましょう。
And let's all enjoy quitting food together. I clench my fist in triumph. I see Giorno and Keith nod quietly, their blank eyes staring far into the distance.
わかりました。カタリナがそういうのでしたら。
そうだね。それが一番安全そうだよ。
でも一番初めのダンスは婚約者である僕と踊ってくださいね。
But of course.
姉さん、くれぐれも一人では行動しないようにね。あと食べ過ぎたらダメだからね。
Don't overeat.
カタリナ様、パーティー楽しみですね。
それではカタリナ、お手をどうぞ。
いいえ、私の手を取ってくださいな、カタリナ様。
Everyone seems so excited for this. Yeah, I really love being with them all. You're going to be ladylike. I have to embody the ladylike grace as I head to the party hall so Mother and Keith won't scold me. In a rare attempt, I walk forward gracefully, and then a hand is held out before me.
カタリナ、今日の振る舞いはとても優雅ですね。ぜひ僕にエスコートをさせてください。
He's so cute. Oh right, elegant ladies always have to be escorted. As I place my hand upon his, I hear the echo of a repressed scream from beside me.
ああ、もう結局手を取られてしまいましたわ。何なんですのこの隙のなさは。
Forget how annoying she is in this room.
お兄様にカタリナ様のエスコート役をしてもらおうと思っていましたのに、本当に素早すぎます。
カタリナ、どんな料理が出るか楽しみですね。
This will be my first experience with the food of Quid. I'm excited to try it. My head is filled with images of delicacies as we walk the hall together. I get to see them dance again, yay! The Merset Norton begins to speak using a tool that looks like a microphone powered by wind magic. I want to start eating already. I lost count of all the passionate gazes I've shared with the mountain of food across the party hall. We are still listening to the speech from Premier Set of Quid, who has the leading role in this function. Just when I think his speech is finally over, he begins to introduce Marquis Rylewerder, whose investment made the project possible. And after this, Jordan will speak as a member of the royal family and guest of honor.
それではソルシエ王国の第三王子であられるジオルド殿下、どうぞ挨拶をお願いいたします。
はい。
You know, it's funny. I mentioned at the very first of this game that I like how old people speak because they're very enunciate with their words. And it sounds very punctual and formal, and then as soon as he turns a bad guy, that just goes out the window. He's like slurring all of his words together, and I can't. And it just sounds like gibberish. Like when I'm watching the edit, when I'm watching the audio, when I'm editing, it's just a massive amount of stuff. I'm like, that must be set speaking up there. There's no gaps in the words at all. Anyway, the speeches drag on, and since I'm standing in front as a duke's daughter, there's no way I can sneak away for a bite. Of course, even at regular social parties, it isn't common to be busy greeting people that I don't have time to eat. But they're talking way too much. It feels just like those long-winded school assemblies in my past life. Now that I think of it, Set definitely looks like a principal. My concentration begins to wane as I listen to their droning. By the end, I'm not even processing it anymore. There are only so few nobles from Quid here, but still, I try to be a proper noble woman. Yet those delicious smells wear me down. Oh, I wonder what that odd-shaped one is. I bet it tastes great.
姉さん、ちゃんと話聞いてる?
I wouldn't be listening either if there was food over there. Sushi. Doesn't seem like it's on the menu, but those other seafood dishes look tasty.
こいつ、絶対聞いてないな。
お話が長いですもの。仕方ありませんわ。
I gulped down my saliva, anticipating the new foods that await. The pool is becoming positively magnetic. The speeches finally end, and now comes socializing and exchanging pleasantries. Alright, now's my chance. I ready myself to make a beeline for the buffet, but...
これはキース・クラエス様にカタリナ・クラエス様までようこそお越しくださいました。
I can't wait to edit this now to see how many punctuations, how many spaces he puts into his words in the audio. What? For some reason, Rao and Set have decided to come straight to greet us first. There's lots of important-looking old guys over there. Why don't I go that way?
一応姉さんは公爵家令嬢で、この中では身分が高い方だからね。ここにはアラン様もニコル様もいるし。
Aw, is that why Silva became second son of the Duke? Because Katarina is such a high-standing noble that he's gotta be worthy. So cute. I didn't realize Duke was that high. He threes me like a book. It is what it is. Since they approached us, I must play my part and return the greeting.
はじめまして、カタリナ・クラエスと申します。本日はお招きいただきましてありがとうございます。
お越しいただきありがとうございます。 皆様の学園でのお噂はかねがね伺っております。
それは光栄ですわ。
I force the best smile that I can, doing my part as a noble woman, but the conversation halts. Should I find something to talk about? In these situations, a proper aristocrat would have a few words of consideration for the other party. But I was zonked out during the speeches, so I can't think of a single thing. I racked my brain and panicked for a moment before remembering the topic from the cabin earlier.
そういえばベルダー公爵、お部屋に置かれているサシェは公爵のご提案なのですか？友人たちから聞いたのですが、どうやらお部屋ごとにサシェの香りが違うとか。
よくお気づきになられましたね。実はこれから売り出そうと思っている製品でして、それと少しでも快適な気持ちで船の旅を過ごしていただければとも思い、各部屋に置かせていただきました。あまり海に慣れていない方には意外と潮の香りを苦手に思う方が経験上多かったものですから。
まあ、とても素敵なお気遣いをいただき嬉しいですわ。
Great save, way to go, Katarina. I am integrating nicely into the social gathering, if I do say so myself. I'm sure they must be busy as hosts, so they should go and greet all the other nobles soon. I think I can finally get some food, but then...
ところで、そのドレスをお召しということは、あなたがひょっとして光の魔力の...
I forgot how much they talk during this. Their attention turns to Maria now, and they continue to linger.
はい、この度は特別なご招待を賜り、心から感謝しています。
おお、あなたが噂の。
素敵なドレスまでご用意いただいて本当にありがとうございます。直接お礼を申し上げることができてよかったです。
いえ、こちらこそ招待に応じていただきありがとうございます。
ベルダー公爵はとても趣味が良い。よくお似合いになっておりますぞ。
いえ、そんな。
ところで光の魔力についてぜひお伺いしたいことが。
They must think it a rare opportunity to meet someone with light magic, so they start to ask Maria numerous questions. That seems especially interested. I recall that Quid doesn't have any magic of its own. Still, I think they're getting a bit aggressive with their questions. They seem to have forgotten the rest of us entirely and are only talking to Maria. Even Maria appears a bit distressed.
あの方たちのことあまり好きになれません。
The Fae whispers with uncharacteristic discontent. Maria nods in agreement.
お顔は笑っていますけど、目が値踏みするもののそれですわね。まあ、こういう場ではよくあることですし、マリアさんは希少な光の魔力保持者でもあるので仕方のない部分もあると思いますけれど、決して気持ちのいいものではありませんわね。
Thinking about it, Mary is well versed in matters of the social upper class, so I'm sure her hunch is correct. Maria is such a sweet girl, so I can understand wanting to heap praise upon her, but...
おお、さすがはマリア嬢。とても優秀でいらっしゃいますな。
いえ。
These compliments are getting excessive. They lay it on so thick she doesn't even know how to respond anymore. Having to deal with these upper class stiffs probably makes Maria as tired and hungry as it does me. Okay, I gotta protect her.
お話中失礼いたします。
I nonchalantly slip into the conversation, drawing dubious looks from round set.
何ですかな、カタリナ嬢。
I can see the irritation all over their faces. I completely understand wanting to keep talking to a beauty like Maria, and interrupting like this is bad manners. If I recall, Keith managed to interrupt a conversation to talk to me once. He says something like,
実はあちらに私たちがお世話になっている先生がいらっしゃったようですので、ご挨拶をしてきたいと思うのですが。
Yeah, I think that's how it went. When I was being pinned by Giordo, Keith had said, "That lady over there is waiting for you," and pulled me away. I thought it would be bad to lie about someone wanting to talk to Ronald or Set, so I adapted a bit. Aristocrats hold etiquette in high regard, so it's only natural for a student to go greet their teacher, I think.
あ、そうでしたか。長く引き止めてしまい申し訳ございません。
いえいえ、お構いなく。マリアさんは優しくて可愛いですし、女である私でも長くお話ししたくなる気持ちはわかりますから。マリアさんとお話しするのは、それはもう本当に楽しいですよね。
I nod, trying to meet them halfway, but for some reason, Giordo and Alan are snickering away just out of their sight. In contrast, Ronald and Set make awkward, complicated expressions. Did I say something bad?
確かに我々が独占するのも失礼でしたな。
Can you imagine saying, "Oh yeah, she's beautiful. I can see why I keep talking to her," and then just the boys in the background are just snickering.
それでは失礼いたします。どうぞごゆっくりお過ごしください。
Let Emerald clear the throats and then move away quickly. Maria places a hand upon her chest and sighs a relieved smile.
カタリナ様、ありがとうございました。
いいのよ。それよりマリアの方こそ質問攻めになって大変だったわね。疲れてない？
カタリナ様が助けてくださったので大丈夫です。
ならよかったわ。
I'm glad I was able to help a friend out, and now for my just rewards.
まあ、なんて素敵な方なの。
Oh yeah, we have to meet Frederick. I want him to be a romanceable character too. He would be interesting to get under his skin. I turned to the sudden cheering to find a man in military uniform surrounded by women.
あの方、クイードの軍人ですって。お名前はなんていうのかしら。
And now Mary's gonna talk about him.
ねえ、今日こそぜひお話をしてくださらない？私、あなたのことが。
職務中だ。道を塞ぐな。
The man in uniform continues to walk, pushing his way through the swarm of women. His expression makes his irritation plain as day, as showing the women no interest at all.
あの冷ややかな眼差し。なんて素敵なの。
I know that would be the fun part, right? Wow. He feels like a tsundere character from an Otome game. If this was an Otome, that would be his introductory scene, but who is he?
あの方はフイード王国の海軍少将であるフレデリク・エールソン様ですわ。
海軍少将？
ええ、フイードの下級貴族の生まれで、何でもセット様に見出されて入軍後、その実力で若くして少将の位をつかんだ有望株だとか。しかし女性嫌いで有名な方とお聞きしていますわ。
I see, so that's why he's being so unfriendly with the ladies. Mary's information network really is a sight to behold. She even knows the juicy details on the nobility of Quid.
ちなみにソルシエ側の殿方人気は今キース様とニコル様が人気を二分しておりますわ。
The two bachelors. Nicole and Keith? Why? I understand Nicole with his devilish aura, but I had no clue my brother was so popular. Well, he is a romanceable character in the Otome game. He acts more like a mom than a playboy. But he is still just as handsome, I suppose. That's funny. Silva called him out too as being a mom. But Giordo and Alan are also romanceable characters, right? There's no way they aren't just as popular. No, they're
どうして
engaged.
ジオルド様とアラン様の名前がないのかしら。
Those two belong to the royal family and have the kind of looks that make ladies melt. I ponder until Mary whispers the answer to me.
こういうものは未婚、婚約者なしの男性が人気を独占するものですのよ。
Oh right, Giordo is engaged to me. I really should remember, but since I don't really think about it, it slipped my mind. In an effort to avoid my doom flag, I told Giordo I wouldn't mind calling it off at any time, but he always refuses. I still wonder if he'll go and fall in love with Maria someday. But through this whole year at the academy, I haven't seen anything that even remotely resembles a love flag. I may be Jordo's fiance right now, but because I always assume it'll be called off, I never think of myself as such. Yeah, only in his route, because it gets called off every single time.
でも人気な殿方か。ってあれベルダー公爵は？
そういえばベルダー公爵もなかなか整ったお顔立ちでしたけれど、その人気の中にはいらっしゃらないのですね。
He's also like 30.
ということは婚約者様がいらっしゃるということでしょうか。
Twice your age.
いえ、ベルダー公爵はすでに既婚者ですから、そもそも仙外なんですよ。
え？既婚者？
That was unexpected. Sophia and Maria also looked surprised. But married nobility would usually attend parties alongside their spouses, and he's the host, so all the more reason. It's normal for a marquis's wife to stand at his side during parties. Seeing our reactions, Mary continues in a hushed tone.
ベルダー公爵が結婚したのはもう何年も前ですが、奥様を伴ってパーティーに来たのは数回だけ。しかも片手の指で足る回数だそうですわ。まあ、その数回もあくまで王宮や貴族社会に妻の顔を見せるためだったとか。貴族として最低限の礼儀を果たした後はぱったり社交の場に伴って現れることがなくなったそうです。
まさか体調を悪くされているんでしょうか。
いえ、奥様が病弱だというお話は聞きませんわ。ではお二人とも仲が悪く？ところが数少ないパーティーで見た人によると、ベルダー公爵はとても奥様を大切にしている素振りだったそうですわ。なので社交界ではもっぱらベルダー公爵が奥様に惚れ込んでいて表に出したがらないのだという噂、小中の玉という扱いらしいですのよ。小中の玉、なんだか素敵なお話ですね。きっと家では甘い生活が広がっているに違いありませんわ。
Sophia mumbles in fascination. Sophia sure loves her romance novels. Just listening to this is stimulating her fantasies. My parents are also quite close, so maybe they're like that. After Keith was adopted, my mother falsely believed that he was father's child from an affair, and they almost got divorced. But after the situation was cleared up, things swung right back around, and now they're closer than ever. Speaking of which, I wonder how Mother's doing. If only Anne was here to tell me. I felt interrupted by the sounding return of my grumbling stomach. Oh yeah, I have a feast to partake. True, girl talks fills the heart, but it's food that fills the stomach. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity won't wait. I told Mary and the others that I'm going over to eat and prepare to move out. They get interrupted by Giorno. Oh. Oh yeah, we got this. Hidden amidst the noise and bustle of the party, Silva and I hustle quietly in the background.
たく、一体全部で何個あるんだか。
Silva is wearing a waiter uniform that he stole from the staff room. I was the one who called him here, but the Vigilum departed before he could get off, so he's helping me with my work. He was supposed to be standing by on the Sid grid, but due to our new situation, he's here with me. I'm glad he is too.
それにしても本当に多いな。
We collect explosives from all over the ship and throw them overboard. Then we carefully replace them with fakes, making sure no one would suspect a thing.
よっと、これで終わりか？
いや、事前に入手した計画表ではパーティー会場にも仕掛けられていたはずだよ。
まだあるのか。しかもあんな貴族がゴロゴロいる場所に。
人が多いうちにうまく紛れて回収した方がいいだろうね。
ああ、それよか。んな顔して何考えてんだ？
あ、うん。 少し気になることがあって。
I glanced at the dummy explosive in my hand and then in the direction of the party.
最初もああ見えてクイードの人間だろ。しかも一時俺の祖父と共に名を馳せたこともある技術者だ。俺たちが手に入れた情報によると、最終的にビンクルム号を沈めて証拠を隠滅するつもりらしいけど、それにしてはこの爆薬お粗末すぎないか。
確かにあの宰相が仕掛けているものがこんな単純な爆薬っていうのは気にかかるな。
うん、てっきり解除の難しい次元式のようなもっと手の込んだ仕掛けを仕組んでいると思っていたからさ、違和感があるんだ。
単純な方が俺たちとしては助かるけどな。
そうだね。でも多分こうして妨害されるのも予想していたと思うんだ。あの人のことだ。誰にも漏らさず大事に持っているカードがまだあるような気がする。
そうは言うけど、それが分からなきゃお手上げじゃねえか。
そうなんだ。だから俺たちは早くその何かを見つけなければならない。
あまりのんびりもしてられねえかもな。
We look at each other and then at the party hall. We took every precaution in preparing for this, but the premiere might still yet be another step ahead. I hear the sounds of laughter from the party, but thinking of her and her friends in there only amplifies my worry and impatience. Finally, time to dig in. I move through the party hall in high spirits, heading towards the table filled with the food. But there are so many people, I'm barely making progress. Most of the passengers must be gathered here, as it is the first day. Can't really see the table with all these people. It wouldn't be right for me to push people aside to get through, so I was making a little progress. Then someone holds out their hand.
一曲お相手を願えませんか？
Someone seemingly a noble of quid invites me to dance, and I completely freeze. I've never experienced this in Sorcier. Giordo is the prince of Sorcier and my fiance, so no one besides my childhood friends ever asked me to dance. What am I supposed to do here again? Should I just go with it and dance? Or do I say I'm hungry and excuse myself? As I mull over it, someone steps between us. It's Giordo.
カタリナ、僕との約束を忘れていませんよね。
約束？
最初は僕と一緒に踊るという約束ですよ。僕以外とは踊らず、いい子で待っていましたか？
He's so adorable. Seeing the glint in Giordo's smile, the noble from Quinn nervously sidles away. Sidles away? I don't know how to say that. Giordo and the guest of honor had been making the rounds and greeting everyone. This man must have recognized him immediately. I don't remember that promise though. No. Giordo can get rather aggressive at times like these. He takes my hand as I hesitate. I know he can be aggressive sometimes, but he's just so adorable. Look at that face. He's so happy. Just give him that. Then Giordo escorts me to dance, my stomach doing a different dance all the while.
ジオルド様、私料理が。
I just want some food.
カタリナは本当に愛らしいですね。
He's not listening. And so I am trapped. I wanted to make a break for it when the music ended, but Giordo wraps his arm around my waist. His escort has no openings, and I find myself settling in for yet another song. But he's so happy. This is like the highlight of his whole week. Give it to him. When dancing without switching partners, it's typical to finish with the first or second song, I thought.
というかご飯。
あと1曲だけ。クイードの人間にも認知させておくいい機会ですからね。
He's showing everyone that you are his. To show them that he's the prince, but Gyro already went around greeting them.
君が僕のものだということをですよ。
Yep, you are his fiancé. Everyone else, no touchy. With a soft chuckle, Gyro dances gracefully. I hear sighs of admiration around us.
それにしても相変わらず愛らしいですね。可愛い僕のお姫様。
Gyro can say such cheesy lines with ease. I'm reminded again that he's a romanceable character in a Tomy game. It hurts me to hear you say that. Meanwhile, I'm the type of girl that will just absorb everything that he says and just hold it close. But he's going after the wrong person. I almost say aloud, Maria is the protagonist in the game, not me. I really wonder why they haven't fallen for Maria yet. She's so attractive too. But perhaps they will discover their love during this very voyage. If that happens, I have to give them my full support.
また僕の可愛い婚約者は妙なことを考えているみたいですね。でも今だけは僕を見てくれませんか。
No, this is like the only time he ever gets to keep you to himself. Gerda pulls me closer by my waist and places his lips a hair from my ear.
カタリナ、僕は絶対婚約を解消なんてしませんからね。これは約束です。
Gerda's breath on my ear feels ticklish. I'm a bit dumbfounded, unsure of what just happened. Then the song ends. Did he kiss your ear? Is it a sign of courtship? Someone would say it's a sign of courtship. Maybe Jorah knows this. If I don't act fast, he might pull me into another dance, so I snap out of it and move. Really, my stomach is making the decisions.
素敵なダンスありがとうございました。
カタリナ、
私ダンスでお腹が空いてしまったのでクイードの料理を堪能してきます。
I curtsy gracefully and quickly move away from Giordo. I'm quick on my feet, and the other nobles rushing to meet Giordo quickly fill the gap between us. Finally, I'm free. Poor Giordo. Care more about the food. Ah, that went well. Now it's time for food. First matters of business, a drink. A waiter walks past me carrying a tray with drinks. Now his reaction makes more sense. He knows who she is. Man looks ready to jump out of his skin when I call him. Is my villainous face really that scary? No, he's searching for bombs. He's trying to blend in. Don't worry, I'm not scary. I say this with a smile as I approach that waiter.
飲み物を一ついただきたいのですが。
お飲み物はアルコールでよろしかったですか？
あ、お酒じゃないものがいいです。
Despite my obviously mature appearance, I do have a preference for the sweet things in life. My mother and Keith don't like when I drink too many sweet things though, so I make sure I don't do it too often.
ではこちらをどうぞ。クイード産のパイナップルを使ったジュースでございます。
Wow, that looks delicious. I gulp it down faster than it's handed to me. Ha, I'm alive again. Oh, I live again. I mean, the other one works too. It's sweet and refreshing. It goes down so smoothly. I had been preoccupied with the drink, but now I noticed the waiter staring. Oh, maybe I was a little too eager there. But it was so delicious that I couldn't help myself. Keith would be furious if he saw me. Salvaging the scraps of my dignity, I wipe my mouth with a handkerchief and place the glass back upon the tray as elegantly as I can.
どうかしまして？
いえ、失礼いたしました。
He's like, bye. He bows and leaves. Feeling relieved, I head back to the food table.
カタリナ。
ニコル様。
I turn, hearing Nicole's voice, and I notice him carrying a plate filled with food and desserts.
楽しみにしていた料理にまだ手をつけられていないように見えた。よければこれを。
ありがとうございます、ニコル様。
Nicole is so considerate. Even here in the middle of a party, he's always perceptive of those around him. I take the plate and fork from him and begin to look over all of my delicious options. They all look so good, and it's party food, so they all look so elaborate. There's a spicy-looking octopus dish that's supposedly quite mild, a heavily spiced meat dish, and a vividly colored salad. Where should I begin? I think it was go for the fish. I think the last one's food. Yeah. I hesitate for a moment, but decide to start with the seafood after all. As I munch, my eyes open wide at the explosive taste. What is this flavor? It's so delicious, and this sauce? I think the common root is going with one of every single person to make it even. And yeah, in chapter 2, it has Rosie and it has Silva, and everyone else is neutral. So, yep, just one of each, and you get the common root. This must be the flavor of squid. There's a sweetness and sourness that complement each other that I've not tasted in Sorcier. I have to get everyone to try this too. Actually, I wonder if they already eating. I look around the party hall and see Giordo and Keith caught up with some noblewomen. Speaking of, those two are always making the rounds for greetings even at regular parties, so they rarely ever get to eat. It seems like today will be no different. I should get some of the food and save it for them, like Nicole did for me. I wonder how Maria and the others are doing. Let's get a plate for everyone. I look for Maria, Mary, and Sophia. It appears the three of them are together, but they aren't eating and approach them one after another. Wow, they're so popular. I observe for a moment. Sophia and Maria are the ones being approached, while Mary is warding the men away. I thought that I might need to intervene, but Mary seems to have things under control, so I think it'll be fine. So it looks like they haven't had a chance to eat yet. Once I finish, I'll get them some when I get my seconds. Wait, I don't remember seeing Alan anywhere. Where did he go? I glance around in search of him, and Nicole turns to look.
Alan ならあそこだ。
Playing the violin, right?
あそこ?
I follow Nicole's line of sight and notice Alan performing with a violin. Alan plays with ease and grace. It looks like he's completely caught up in the moment. She just wandering around the party.
クエイドとソルシエの友好の象徴となるだろう。ビンクルム号の完成を祝って特別に王族であるアランが演奏することになったんだ。
相変わらずアラン様の演奏は素敵ですね。
Alan is famous for being a musical prodigy. His performance is flawless, and the nobles of the party hall stand enthralled. The rest of the band plays accompaniment, supporting his performance. Harmony is so magical, I almost forget to eat as I listen. Yeah, Alan's performance is great. I should tell him that after he finishes. I'm sure he will be thirsty after a performance like that. It might be a good idea to bring him a drink when I do. Speaking of which, that drink was so good. I think about getting another for myself when I get Alan's, as I take a bite of my dessert. The depths of flavor that fill my mouth make my eyes light up.
これすっごく美味しい。
It is rich yet lightly sweet. While I am absorbed in the taste, I hear a slight chuckle from beside me.
そうか。それはよかった。
Oh, Nicole, you're so cute. The moment Nicole smiles, he emits a torrent of his devilish charm. I'm being hit point blank. Even I can't withstand it. Feeling dizzy, I take a step back and then feel someone's steady hands on my shoulders.
姉さん、大丈夫?
She looks like she's in heaven. That was bad. I was about to collapse from the devilish aura again. All around me, noble ladies drop like flies. His power is simply too great. It's the gap between the smile and his usual expression.
カタリナ、大丈夫か？
What about everyone else who just made faint?
ええ、ありがとうございますニコル様。キースもありがとう。もう大丈夫よ。
I stand up with Keith's help and eat another dessert to regain my strength. This one's good too. Nicole sure knows how to pick good food.
キース、このムースすっごく美味しいわ。キースも食べる？
ああ、うん。ありがとう。でも今はやめておくよ。
He's feeling sick.
遠慮しなくていいのよ。
いや、お腹は空いていないから。
Huh? Keith has a sweet tooth just like me. I thought he'd been too busy making the rounds to get anything to eat. Usually he'd be scolding me about not overeating, but... He stares out into the party hall vacantly. Could it be that he got a chill from the pool water and has a stomachache? No, maybe he came across a noblewoman during his rounds and can't forget her. If that is the case, I wonder who it could be. I follow Keith's line of sight, but I just can't tell. In any case, I wonder what's the matter. I keep an eye on Keith for the rest of the party as he continues to act strangely. It wasn't until after I realized that I had missed my chance at a second helping of the special cuisine.
ではカタリナ様、私はこれで。おやすみなさいませ。
The maid that helped me change into my pajamas leaves as I roll over on the bed.
はあ、疲れた。
It's finally over. All said and done, today was a fulfilling day. The most fun I had was at the pool. It was great getting to mess around with everyone. The party wasn't so bad. I think I'll be able to make it through the week. Just as the rumor said, the party wasn't so formal. It was much more easygoing than the balls of Sorcière. I usually find those parties so depressing, but since all of my friends were with me, I didn't have a moment to dwell in it. I think I can get through this without a enraging mother. Still, so much happened at the party. So much that it's hard to remember everything, but what had left the strongest impression on me was... the food. It has to be the food. It was so delicious. Nicole's choices were perfect. I think that's the most balanced meal I've ever had. Nicole is an older brother, so maybe he's gotten good at thinking of what others might like. I should ask Nicole for recommendations again at tomorrow's party. Either way, I want to eat my fill at that feast tomorrow. I didn't get to eat until I was satisfied today. I was so preoccupied with how Keith was acting, I completely forgot to eat. Usually, I'd get at least a couple more plates, so I am not exactly full right now. But considering how delicious the food was today, I'm sure tomorrow will be just as lovely. Tomorrow night is another party. Since it's not the first, it shouldn't be too awkward if I go straight for the food. I better get some sleep early so to be ready for tomorrow, I think, as I begin to drift off. Well, that's the end of chapter 1 of the Common Root. Obviously, we've already read most of it. I think there was like one new thing and that was it. But I just kind of want to set the stage for chapter 3 because that one is new and I've only did choices in the Common Root for specific characters. So to get the chapter 3 Common Root, you pick one of each character's choice. I don't know if it matters, but I'm just following a guide which tells me which ones to pick. So you could try picking other ones that are not mine if you want and see if it still works. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Unfortunately, these episodes are going to be a little bit longer just because the Common Root is pretty long. I think they're probably going to be like 2.5 hours each. Maybe not chapter 3, I don't know, but we'll see. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.